Hi, Sam here from Future Riders. Today I've got the Amped A16 Pro here with me on the bench. I'm going to run through a quick step-by-step guide on how to build the bike. Now it's pretty simple and should only take you about 15-20 minutes to do so. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get the bike down off the bench, empty the box and set all the parts aside. So we've emptied the box, the bike's out. We should now have a variety of parts to one side that we're going to use for the build. You should have one front wheel, you've got an owner's manual, you're going to have one battery, one charger, you've got a front number board, and then you're going to find the toolkit. In the toolkit, you're going to find 2 of 3 things. You're going to have a faceplate for the handlebars with 4 bolts, and then you're going to also have the front axle. What we'll do now, we'll head over and we'll fit the handlebars. So we've got the bike on the stand. When it comes to the handlebars, what you might find, they might be a bit twisted cables. So if you just figure out, there we go, untwist the cables or twist the cables to make sure that the handlebars fit on. You're going to center them. Then you're going to need the faceplate. You're going to need the 4 pins and a 4mm Allen key. Can be a little bit tricky because obviously the cables are in the way. So we'll grab the faceplate and slide that into place. And you just grab one of the pins to start with. Once you've got a couple in, it'll hold it in place, obviously. And there we go. 1, 2, 3. 4. Once you've got all 4 in place, you can pretty much center the handlebars and just try and nip them up evenly, making sure there's even space between the front and the back of the plate. And obviously the handlebars sitting square. Once you've done that, what we can do, we can move over to putting the front wheel on the bike. Okay, so you've put the handlebars on, you're happy that everything's tight. We're going to flip the bike upside down and get ready to put the front wheel on. First things we're going to do, we're just going to remove that. And then inside the caliper, what you'll find is a little pad spacer. You're just going to unclip that. What that'll do is obviously separate the pads. And what you've got to be careful of now is that you don't pull the front brake lever. Now we're going to head over to the front wheel. We're going to put the axle in and the bearing into place, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so before we can offer the wheel to the bike, you'll notice on the wheel you'll have no center bearing in the front hub. So you grab your axle, and what you'll see, obviously we know that this side is going to go down this way. So I'm going to take the outer nut off. You'll have a flat washer, you'll have a hook washer, a lock nut, and then the spacer. Now what you'll notice as well, with the spacer and the lock nut, they're going to be a little bit thicker than what they are on this side as well. So we know that the thinner spacer and the thinner nut are going to go on the disc side. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll settle those down. You're going to pop them through. You're going to come over to this side, put your spacer on. You're going to grab 15mm spanner. You're going to grab the 18mm spanner that comes in the box as well. You're just going to hook that on over this side, and what you'll find as you start doing this up, the bearing will actually slide inside the hub. So just keep going until that sits flush. Going until it locks into place and it's nice and tight. Okay, we're nice and tight. So we'll pull that off. Then we're going to pop a lock nut on. Again, so this one now, 18. Just going to nip that up. And now we're ready to go. So again, just remove the washers and nuts. Okay, so now we're going to put the wheel in. We're going to just slide it down, lining up the disc inside the caliper, drop that into place. Then you're going to grab your first washer. In the side of the fork there, you're going to see a little hook that clips in. Then you've got your first flat washer, and then your nut. Same on the other side, you're going to get your little hook washer first, hook that into the hole onto the fork, then your flat washer, and then your nut. And you're going to grab a 15mm spanner, and you're just going to nip those up. Now, what I'd always advise after your first ride, just come back and check any nuts and bolts that you've touched. Again, you can touch them all actually. Just make sure everything's tight, nothing's come loose, and you're happy with everything. Give the wheel a spin. Now, if it doesn't move correctly, what you can do, on the side of the caliper here, at the top and the bottom, you're going to see a 5mm Allen key and a 5mm Allen key. So you grab your 5mm Allen key, you're just going to undo one, undo the bottom one as well. You don't need to undo them all the way, just nip them, just undo them enough so the caliper will move. And then you're going to pump your front brake, hold the front brake, and then just nip those back up. Top, and then the bottom. And what we can do, give the wheel a front spin. There we go, look. Spins nice and freely. So we're coming to the final stages of the build now. We've got the battery in our hands. Now, if you look from this side of the battery here, you'll see there, that's where the charging point is. And then this side here, to unclip the battery from the bike, you just push down that button and pull. So what we're going to do, we'll just pop that in and we'll do some checks on the bike. Okay, so the battery's on. We'll do some final checks. Power up the bike, make sure it turns on. Yeah. We're in speed setting 2. I'm going to twist the throttle, just make sure we've got power. Connect the rear brake. Yeah. Make sure the brake sensors are working. Yeah. And then what we can also do as well, we can change speed mode. So it's always advised when you're first time going out on it, just put it into speed mode 1. So we turn the bike on, we pull the rear lever, we hold that button, and we twist the throttle. And what you'll see, it's gone to mode 3, so that's the fastest speed setting. You can continue holding the rear brake and the speed button, hold that, twist the throttle again. We've gone down to eco. For the first ride, I'd suggest going out in mode 1, just to see how they get on, make sure they're comfortable, and then if you need to change anything like brake levers, the positions, whether they need to go up or down, or anything like that. So there we have it, the bike is built. Next thing I'd do is just get the little one sat on the bike. You can adjust the seat height, adjust the handlebars and the brake levers, make sure they're comfortable before their first ride. If you've got any questions or you're not sure of anything or you'd like any help or advice, you're more than welcome to get in touch with us via our website. On the website as well, you'll also find a list of spare parts, tyres, inner tubes, spare batteries for those longer rides. Guys, I hope you enjoy your first ride, and thanks for watching.